Hey pre-calculus, welcome to Wednesday, April 29th. We are doing distance and midpoint of complex numbers today. This is going to look very similar to distance and midpoint from geometry, except when we're done, well, not distance, but with midpoints, you got to make sure that your answer gets turned back into complex number. So if you have two complex numbers, then the midpoint is a complex number. Okay, so make sure that your answer for midpoint is a complex number in the A plus BI format. All right, this should not take very long. So this is your distance formula from geometry. We translate it into a distance formula for complex numbers. So you would have had A1 plus B1. That's like complex number 1. And then over here you got A2 plus BI2. There's supposed to be an I in there with a 1. So that would be like complex number 2. Okay. And then here you have your basic midpoint formula. And then over here, you've got the midpoint formula. Basically, excuse me, basically it answers your complex number. So if you notice, when you're done with this, you'll get the A. When you're done with this, you'll get the BI. Like I was just talking about, making sure that your answer is in the format of a complex number. Okay? All right, we're probably about halfway through. We're only 2 minutes into the video. So, hold on tight. It's going to go by pretty quick. So, if you have the opportunity, actually you don't have to, but I'm going to show you an alternate way to do the distance. So, we'll play around with the distance formula just because it's there. So, let's see. So, we'll go distance formula, -2 minus, let's see, 4. We'll square that. Plus 4, because that's the 4 right here. Plus, oops, sorry. It's supposed to be a negative. Minus 5i squared. No I, just 5. Okay? So that's 4 minus 5 squared. 4 minus -5. Okay, so we really messed that one up, didn't we? So we'll fix that real quick. So -2 minus 4 squared plus, I'm just going to rewrite this because we kind of messed that up. 4 minus -5 squared. Okay, so we ended up with a double negative here. Okay, so sorry about that. Got a little messy at first, but I came down here and fixed it. So if you want to, you can, plug all that in the calculator real quick. Grab the calculator, on square root, parentheses, -2 minus 4 squared, plus 4 plus 5 squared, and you get 3 square roots of 13. So that is 3 square roots of 13, or 10.8. Oh, can't see that. There we go. There's the final product. So that's the distance. All right. Okay, so let's do midpoint. Well, I told you I would show you another way to do distance. Well, if you've paid any attention to me at all this entire semester, you know that I like the Pythagorean theorem. So if we plot these points, so -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the first point. Second point be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We draw the right triangle between the 2 points. If you count this, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. You get 9, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there. So you can see that you're going to get 6 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared, okay, which would essentially give you the exact same, because the 6 is negative 2 minus 4, and the 9 is the 4 plus 5. So if you want to use Pythagorean theorem, you are welcome to do so. It's more my favorite. It's what I prefer to do. But here we'll go ahead and we'll start the midpoint part of this problem. See if I can squeeze it in the screen here. Okay, so we're going to be following this right here. Take the two a's, add them together. That's negative 2 plus 4. We're going to divide that by 2. Take the two bi's right here, add them together. 4i plus negative 5i. Divide that by 2. Scoot this up. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2. Divided by 2 is 1. 4 minus 5, that's negative 1. So plus 1/2 I. So that's your midpoint. Right there. And if we plot that, that would put us, let's see, that's going to be a negative right there. So that puts us right there as the midpoint of that graph. So I'm sure somebody caught that 4 minus 5 was supposed to be a negative 1. So I fixed that right here at negative 1. So that right there is midpoint. Okay, I'm going to do another problem for you. Let's do a whole another one. All right, so we'll go through, let's see, distance formula. 1 minus negative 3 squared plus negative 1, that comes from here, negative 1, minus 4 squared. So you get double negative on the first parentheses. So 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 squared is 16 plus negative 1, negative 4, negative 5 squared is 25. So that is the square root of 41, which is, and I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and put all this in the calculator just like I did the previous problem. So 1 minus negative 3 squared plus negative 1 minus 4 squared, square root of 41, toggle it, 6.4. So there's the distance. I'm not going to bother graphing it, but you're welcome to graph it. Use Pythagorean theorem to do so. So as we do the midpoint, all right, so take the two a's, which are 1 and negative 3. 1 plus negative 3. We're going to divide that by 2. Let's see what we got here. Take the two bi's, which are negative I and 4i. Divide those by 2. So negative 1 plus 3 is negative 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is going to be negative 1. And negative I and positive 4i is 3i divided by 2. We'll just call 3i divided by 2. There's your midpoint. So I'd say pre-calculus has a pretty easy day. I think you've had probably a pretty easy week. So that's all there is to distance and midpoint. So we do not have a Delta math assignment on this. So there is a worksheet that has been posted to the blog. There are 10 problems. It's called Distance in the Complex Plane. It has handwritten in there to please find the midpoint as well, besides the distance. Okay? You guys have a great day. I will talk to you soon.